go. I do believe we are live. So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again, finding yourself here for this conscious evolution. Today's dream topic is going to be about the power every single one of us have to influence one another. The title was something like The Power of Every Person. And a person, to me, is something that can tell a story, right? And this ability to tell stories also equip us, this ability to make other people feel things. And it goes both ways, unfortunately. You can make people feel absolutely ecstatic, hopeful, joyous, and you cannot, right? And I just noticed again today how the use of words, if not taken seriously, if not uh, given the due respect, instantly ruins the entire vibe. It ruins the situation you're in. It ruins the rest of the day. It ruins the future possible good moments that you might have with those people. It ruins so much, right? It doesn't just ruin that moment. It has like a ruining a ripple that gets outputted into the world. A part of me wants to share this, a part of me doesn't want to. A part of me feels like it is shameful to share. That part of me that feels it's shameful to share feels like it's supposed to be shared because it's shameful, right? And we are talking about the power that every single one of us have with our words. And this is technically more of the same, right? And I feel maybe today's message might be absorbed a little bit more genuinely if you have some of the context where I'm coming from. We had some family friends over. It was at first just the lady, the aunt. We call even family friends aunt and uncle, like women tani. It's more like an honoring slash manners thing here in South Africa. So this woman Tani came and visited. It was at first just the Tani. She got dropped off at my mom's place, and then came through with her yesterday. And then the guy, he only came through this morning. So I get woken up this morning by my mom asking me, uh, "Do you want? How many eggs do you want?" That was like the first words that actually registered in my brain. How many eggs do you want? And I say, none. And she goes, one? And I'm like, no, none. I don't want any eggs. Because at that point, I thought I was still going to be sleeping, right? Because it was like 8 a.m. or something. So it's not that early, but early for me. So I was like, I'm not going to eat eggs. I'm going to be sleeping right now. And then she's like, oh, uh, this uncle is here right now. So I was like, oh, now I have to get up because it would be rude of me just to continue sleeping if there is this adult that's known me for so long here in Nanamaskinima. Right. So I come outside and I sit at the dinner table, and my dad is on like a phone call all morning in meetings, technically working, and my mom says something in the line of, please come and join us for breakfast, you know, like you tend to keep moving the goalpost. My dad does that, where I know I'll be there in 5 minutes. Okay, I'll be there in 5 minutes. I'll be there in 5 minutes, over and over again. And my mom said something about him being in Afrikaans the words goes 'n gewoonte misdadiger, which directly translates to habit offender. I think that's the right translation, like habit offender. Like you have a habit of doing this thing and you keep offending over and over again, not being punctual, letting other people wait for you. To which my dad replied, I am working. Ek is besig om te werk sodat jy kan vreet. Which directly translates to I am busy working so that you can eat. But we have different words for eat in Afrikaans. It also is eet, which is very close to eat, right? That's the word you're supposed to be using. And then there is a word called vreet, of that fr, the fr in front of it. And vreet means to, like, imagine a hungry dog, right? You put like a bowl of mince in front of a hungry dog, and they like, try to get the food in their face hole as fast as possible, or like pigs having their trough filled, and then them just like absolutely losing their minds and eating as much as they can, as fast as they can. That's what vreet is in Afrikaans. And like with these family friends that I've known literally my entire life, they've known me since before I had consciousness, you know, being at the dinner table and my dad saying something like that to my mom, like, I'm working so that you can imagery of a pig shoving food down its throat, right? Like that's what the word means. And it ruins literally everything, right? Ek werk sodat jy kan. Ek werk sodat jy kan vreet. 6 words. 6 words, misplaced, said in the heated moment when your ego flares up, and the day is ruined. My mom and my dad are still not talking to one another. I don't want to talk to my dad. The family friends left soon after that. Like after dinner, after breakfast was done, they wanted to leave. The amount of you could feel, like, even though we were trying to be like friendly and just make conversation in the meanwhile while we were having breakfast, the whole situation was cast in this light of that experience that happened. And it just again communicated to me the importance and the power that we have of our words, right? Like he could have said literally anything, and then using your power to say the combination of things that would not be received well ruins lives, right? It ruins your own life. I feel like it's this weird weight I'm trying to communicate today with today's stream topic, that it's another infinite loop thing, right? That you have this ability to use this voice box, right? This little output generator to ruin other people's lives, to ruin your own life, or to do the opposite, right? And some people don't realize that that is the power that they have, that it is a power, not like a power as in, something that can generate some force, which it does, but like a superpower, like godlike, like that level of power, like literally, to a, for instance, imagine a species, imagine dogs, imagine just dogs, the dogs we have in our lives, right? Like Pippi is having a good time right now. Yeah, you're having a good time. You're such a good time having right now. Yeah. But she doesn't know how to communicate. She doesn't have this ability. I don't think of her as a person. I do think of her as a divine being, but not so much as a person, because she doesn't tell stories. She doesn't tell stories, so she can't be a person, right? And because of that limitation, because of her inability to communicate, they cannot plan together. They cannot, build societies. They cannot, construct infrastructure. They do not have that capacity. But because we have this ability to communicate, because we have language, because we have this power, we can. We can. And that is literally what has made us what we are right now. And even though that power hasn't gone away, our awareness of that power might have just faded a little bit. Our responsibility, right, has been forgotten. That's what I'm feeling right now. How do you feel about it? Is it making you consciously evolve, thinking about it too? I see all of your friends here already. Let me say hi to you. Doc Dad is here. Joy. Shan was first. Love to you. I have power. I have the power. Yes, you do. You just used it. Look at that, Joy V. I slept like an unattended baby last night and life is good. Is your beloved back home? Or did you just reach a critical point of being too tired to care? I don't know which one it is, but I'm happy that you slept well, Doc Dad. We have Brother Dan, the bearded K-Tree, it's here too. Other Dan not here yet, is he? No, I don't think so. He was there for yoga at least. Judicious wording needed. Yeah, Shan. It was cold, and I could flop around as much as I wanted. That probably does help. Beeps. Hello to all. Hello to you, Nancy. We have Kristen here too, sending you lovin's. There's Dan. I'm here. I just didn't comment yet. I was thinking that. Part of me was like, Dan is already here. He's just not commenting. And then I felt, as I was saying your name and talking about you, I could feel you being like, and I was like, yeah, good. Using my power to affect you, right? Again, I mean, like now having used my power to affect you, that having been affected affects me, right? Like that's the thing I'm trying to talk about today. It's a power like any superhero power you've seen on the big screens. Hey Naren, sorry for missing your name, bro. It's nice seeing you too, dude. Melty and the Technicolor Dream Code. I don't know what those words mean, but I like it. I want to be Melty and the Technicolor Dream Code. I want to be dream coated in Technicolors, please. Give me. What do I have to do? Doctor, tell me, bro. I'll do it. Judicious wording needed. Love is true. I just woke up from a super evocative and intense dream with Tori Amos, and I know one song by her, and not even that well. Tori Amos. Hey Google, show me Tori Amos. Tori Amos. She looks like a fae person, like a fairy. Instantly, my mind goes to Tinkerbell, but I don't know if is that offensive. I'm just getting Tinkerbell vibes. Right? Am I the only one? You see Tinkerbell too? Maybe she would like hearing that she looks like Tinkerbell. Is an American singer, songwriter, and pianist. Pianist? Is it pianist? Comment in chat correctly, please. Super evocative and intense dream. I don't know if that's a good thing. That's the thing that you said very odd. But odd things can be good. Intense and evocative. Those sound like, high up there frequency kind of experiences. So I hope there's not a bad one at the very least, Nancy. I'm happy that you're here. In the land of the living, in the land of the awakened once again. I will never wake my child because my friends or family are there before they wake. They are my friends, not hers. Y'all, that's not how it works in South African culture. It's nice of you to be like that, but in South African culture, your kids are kind of expected to be there, right? Like there was a lot of, yo, my kid is doing so and so, and my kid is doing such and such, and what are you doing? Oh, this, oh, cool. There was a lot of that, right? It wasn't exactly fun, really. It was more like, I am aware of this experience I'm having right now. And I feel it could have been better if not for how it started. I feel like how it started kind of like put everything into like question. Right? Like that level of lack of love, I'll say it directly, feels in my mind at the very least like it communicates a deeper dysfunction, which is something I've been trying to extract, most of my experience here, but yeah. So there's only so much one can do. Hey Sam, it's nice seeing you here. I don't always know when I'm being rude. I'm just direct, and people find it rude sometimes. I tend to be direct as well, right? I feel like maybe communicating the fact that you want to understand, right, with your directness as well. Mel, how disturbing. It seems like some kind of unconscious compulsion to be rude and hurtful. Yeah. I don't know if it's unconscious as much as it might just be egoic, right? Like I feel like unconsciously there's like a lot more bullshit to deal with in my dad's experience. And this I do believe, but I feel like it's more an ego thing, right? And the unfortunate thing about ego problems is that it manifests in the conscious realm, but does so at its own upliftment. In other words, you will say things because of an ego flare up. And as you say that thing and it creates an experience in the world, you will solidify or double down on your ego fractal when you do that, right? So it's not a subconscious thing. In my mind, it's a conscious thing, right? Like maybe it's a subconscious like anger that leads to that conscious action, but it's an ego thing more than anything to me, because I was like, I talked to my dad. I was like, hey bro, I didn't like say it like that. I was like, papa mood iti dunian, you have to do something about this, right? And he goes, oh, ek het mos om verskoning gevra. I said sorry. I'm like, bro, sorry is not gonna cut it, my dude. Sorry is not gonna cut it. You're gonna have to do something else. And then I can see him being like, okay, I was gonna do something else. I'm like, okay, well, suit yourself, bro. That's why I think it's ego more than subconscious. I feel that joy. Most people are afraid to speak their mind, but not me. I think this is a good thing. We need more people that are willing to speak their minds. Joy, I find, as I have this problem as well, that it is partially my delivery in my voice. If my voice is too deep or strong, it sounds condemning of them. I have to remember to speak softly. Yeah. Wonder if that's a women thing as well, Sam. Like you not being allowed to be an authoritative figure as a woman, right? And this is not my beliefs. I'm just thinking about societal norms and such, right? Like who are you as a woman to tell me as a man, no, no. No, how about everybody has value to contribute? Everybody has this power. Every single person has this power to speak into the world and affect us, to affect things, to literally move mountains, right? If you believe hard enough, and you can, if you get other people to believe it as well. No. Me too, Joy. Especially as a dude, me just being direct is almost always, why are you being angry with me? I've noticed the same, unfortunately. I do not know how to speak softly. Yeah, Joy Vive likes to have her own voice heard, and I appreciate that part of her. Yeah, I gathered that, Joy. Me and Joy arguing at full strength would be one of those animes where two equally matched angry dudes are shooting electricity at each other. Unlimited power. You guys hear a lot of. There are so many nice ways, so many nicer ways you could have done that. Yeah, yeah, too much, right? And I feel like it's a matter of unwillingness to, right? Like there's a certain level of disrespect that arises in me when I experience stuff like that, right? Like I'm unable to have respect for you if you say stuff like that to my mom. Oh, how am I supposed to respect you? You cannot expect me to respect you if you say shit like that, right? And like that, respect is something that's very hard earned with me. Very, very hard earned. I have high standards for how much you have to do to be respected. And it's again a societal brain damage thing, which I'm aware of. I'm aware of that. But it's also the recognition of power, right? Like my respect is directly correlated to how aware you are of your power to make other people feel things and how you use that power, right? I feel like that's where respect is contributed from myself, right? Like if I see someone using their words, using their power to speak words for good, to try and uplift other human beings, to try and help people, that garners a lot of respect in my soul. The opposite doesn't, right? It activates a part of me that I feel should better stay rested. I'm sorry that you're that was your morning. No, thank you, Shan, for the lovin's. I'm sure your dad is under a lot of stress, but still, it's not cool or an excuse to be rude to others. He probably is under a lot of stress, but that's the joke, Shan. And I'm so happy that you said that because it's so beautiful, the point that you made. And it's part of me was a little bit dissociative of it. I'm sure he is under stress, but in using our power for words when we're stressed in that way, we one add more stressors to our environment, right? Because now, on top of the stress that I have with work potentially, now I have the stress of my wife's anger, right? That tension, that flinching, knowing that something's coming, that stress. Right? It's not like they domestic abuse one another, but like you're already like winching when you know you're walking into a room and this person that is supposed to be your beloved hates your guts right now, right? Like that's not a good place to find yourself in. And then that place causes him more stress, making it only easier for him to lash out, making it only easier for the relationship to be more ruined, hurt, scattered, shattered. And it's this weird self-fulfilling prophecy that my dad seems to be hell-bent on seeing, right? Like, let me see what happens if I prioritize an imaginary friend. He wouldn't like to hear me say that. An imaginary friend over my wife and my kids, all right? Like my relationship with God comes first. And as long as I have a relationship with God, then I'm set. I can die and I'll go to heaven and then everything will be happy chappy. Where I believe that this is heaven. This is as much heaven as you'll ever get, right? Because all you'll ever get is this current moment. And how much heaven you can extract is again up to you. That's your power. And then using that power to extract the worst possible experiences from this life, to me, is sin. That to me is sin. That is missing the mark. It's missing the point. You're not realizing what you're here for. And yeah, I've tried. I've tried to reason. I've tried to offer psychedelics. I have offered my yoga classes and my meditations. I've offered my weed. I've offered my philosophies. I have done everything. Now it's up to him to take back his power. Realize he's holding the power, maybe is a better way to say it. My beloved is home. Her and Duckling took the big bed, and I took my floor bed. Man, I love my floor bed. It is cooler down there, technically. Sorry, Duck, but if you were ever to get in an anime-style matchup with JV, if it's over before it starts, this is probably true. Joey V probably has like instant transmission, bro. Snaps your neck instantaneously. I would like to think I have a small chance. Directness is not just with the bad stuff though. I tell my close friends I love them. So if I'm interested in someone romantically, I just say it. And if you cross me, then I will come upon you like the crashing of 1,000 waves. I like to something like that one actually. Begone from me, vile man, begone! I am untethered, and my rage knows no bounds. Yeah, that's honest. That's feel good to say. I won't lie. Right, but again, that's you using your power in a certain way. Ah, man, I'm learning lessons actively about how I can use language to affect. And I want to get good at it, but I want to get good at it before I start using it, which is counterintuitive because you can only get good at it by doing it. What do I want to say first? Yeah, it goes something like, again, with like power and how we can like shift human attention. I can go and say something like, what I'm about to say next is of utmost importance. And you would do well to pay very close attention and try to absorb and understand every single word that I'm going to say next. You are here to love. That is what you're here for. Everything else is noise. Right? Sure, in our current state of reality, we need to earn money. But again, there is a higher dimensional thing that you're here for. You wouldn't be earning money and eating food if there wasn't something to love in getting to continue, right? In getting to continue to choose love every single day. And one of the abilities that we have to share love with one another is through our words, especially in this day and age, right? Where we are more scattered than we've ever been. We aren't as close as human beings as we used to be. So we have this ability of a voice, with little fingers, to type things on a screen and then to affect other people literally across the world. This power that you've been given has been amplified by the internet at, well, an 8 billion fold, technically speaking, right? And it's only going to continue. You are more powerful than you know, dear friend. Please, please, pretty please, use that power for love. Try at the very least. And if we continue to, in the next 10, in the next 20 years, surely we will exist in a better world. How did that feel? Did it work? Did me priming your neurons with that, like, you need to listen, did it work? Did it do something for you? Did it make you feel something? Did me using that power feel appropriate? Let me know. I'm curious. First experimented. I've done it. I've practiced. I feel like I'm already getting better. The new neurons are being made right now. They're connecting. Skip the boop. Dan, I'm stealing that. I usually go a rage of 1,000 burning suns, but I like yours better. Doc, it's a Dennis Reynolds from Always Sunny. I can't take the credit. Love is true. Thank you for giving credit where it's due. Mel, I just don't get why he would say something like that, even from an egoic perspective, especially with friends visiting. Like, what the fuck? So, prior, and I feel like that's where I think it's like an ego thing. Like, my sister was still making breakfast, right? Like, the eggs got done during that fight that was had, right? And they were waiting for 30 minutes for this uncle, Gert, to get to our home, right? And there was this like, oh, you're willing to wait 30 minutes for Gert, but you don't want to wait 5 minutes for me to finish my phone call or something like that. And then I think that egoic is where that, using your power without thinking, came from. That's the way I interpret it, as a bystander. And I said, well, I did tell my dad that was uncalled for. Like, instantly, I was like, bruh, that was uncalled for. And then he went like, oh yeah, maybe it was uncalled for. And then that was his apology. And that's the apology that he says he's given, that he's not willing to give again. And I'm like, bruh. Like, I'm definitely no expert on women or having a wife. But I am an expert on being a person because I've been one for 25 years. And as this person, that won't fly. Not with me, not with anybody. So try again. try again. Then, other than looking like Charlie Day, I have never really watched it. Ironically enough, it's because that Dennis guy looks annoying. Dennis is hilarious, Duck. He's one of my best characters. I don't think I've seen the show either, so I'm there with you, Duck Dad. I'm a Mac guy. Dennis is a full-on psychopath that teeters on being a sociopath, that teeters on being a psychopath. But he's so vain and egotistical that he can't indulge his psycho side for fear of being judged by others. There's a lot of them. I'm worried sometimes that I might be a sociopath. I was really stressing about that as a teenager, but apparently no. Apparently, being a socio or a psychopath means that you have absolutely no concern for other people. And I want to say, weirdly enough, unfortunately, I'm not a sociopath, right? I feel like seriously life would be easier if I was a sociopath because not having to think or care about other people sounds very easy, right? It's not something that I would want to do, again, to attach it back to today's stream topic. If you don't think about other people, you're not considering the level of responsibility that your words have, right? If you don't have to think about other people, you can just say what you want. Come what may. Who cares? But I try to say the right words because I try to take responsibility. I'm not perfect. That's the joke as well. Like even though I'm really try hard to be careful with what I say, I still make mistakes. Oh, Dan, but he has the most punchable face. Mac is also hilarious. 10 out of 10 show. I have seen the episode where they tag team wrestle an eagle in eagle masks. It was bonkers. The wrestling match was one of the good ones. Birds of War. Is love intertwined? I mean, again, that's a hard one for me, especially since I believe love is true. And why would you bring that up, Joy Vive? You have a fetish? Now I'm like eyebrows raised, right? No judgment, no judging. I'm not judging. I'm just concerned for your well-being and health. Is that good for you? Are you gonna be okay? It is fertilizer, so that's where I'm gonna take the stand of love, Joy Vive. That if you look out to the world, right, like all of this that you're seeing right now, all of this nature, so many things have pooped, and that poop has become a part of the grass, and that grass has been surrounded, or at least its root system has been surrounded by little microorganisms, and those microorganisms were eating the poop and breaking it down into constituents that the plants can actually absorb, right? So yeah, even so, love is true. No, sociopaths, do not stress about being sociopaths, Mel. That was probably the giveaway, right? That was probably the giveaway. Do narcissists stress about being narcissists? No, also not, right? Like I feel like there's a certain level of self-importance that precedes or supersedes your willingness to think about that, right? Like you're too narcissistic to think that it is something wrong with your state of being, which would be narcissism. That's the way I think of it, at least. Uh, Jobo, it's nice having you here. I know it goes without saying, but love you. Anyway, Joy, after watching Tori in a dark room in the front row, the size of a classroom, we ended up in the front seat of a car holding hands, but not romantically. Yeah. Yeah, I was a little bit out of the left field. I agree, Nancy. But I'm happy that you had your good dream though. Holding hands, but not romantically. Yeah, I feel like we have, unfortunately, as a society, bastardized love pretty aggressively. We made love a sex thing, right? We made holding hands a sex thing. Love isn't sex. You can probably have sex by showing up for love. That would be, highly likely. But love is a state of being. Love is a state of being, right? In that moment where two people are holding hands, you can activate, can feel into, can resonate at that frequency that is a state of loving being. So I'm happy that you had that. Sounds beautiful. No, Jovan, narcissists, stressed about people finding out they're narcissists. I mean, it's a lot of nonsense in life. You weirdo. Oh, I mean, still, Joy. You'll have a hard time, like even with like actual poop. You'll have a hard time, getting me to abandon my belief that love is true. I'll find a way to understand it through the loving lens, right? Like I can hear you friends posing very difficult questions. Yeah. The fact that you can be aware, the fact that you can feel any of those things, even the most yikes of things, means that you are love, means that you are showing up lovingly, right? The fact that you can think about these extremely horrible things happening on the earth right now and you're not participating, you're not trying to make more of that horrible experience means that love is true, right? That is not true. It might happen, it might be a momentary truth, but it's not an ultimate truth. And it's hard to understand that, right? To take a step back from the ego, to take a step back from the linear, to take a step back from the living, even, and to realize love is true, even, despite there being anything to exist. A narcissist is just a victim in disguise. To them, everyone else is the one with the problem. and they will lie and gaslight and darvo as long as they think they have a shot of maintaining control. Good old control. No such thing, yo. Sounds like some kind of sewage spy movie. It does kind of actually. It's a nice dream then. What is Darvo? I also don't know the word Darvo, especially since it's all caps. Uh, deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. Darvo. I'm gonna deny that there's any wrongdoing with me. I'm gonna attack you for this thing that you did wrong. I'm going to reverse victim. Now I'm the victim because of this thing that you've done wrong, and I'm at the same time the offender. Like, as I'm trying to explain it to myself, I see patterns that I've noticed in my life. Oh wow. Oh, it's my fault. Oh, okay, it's my okay. Good to know. Hey Joe Schmo, blessings to you, bro. It's a tactic they use to make sure every situation works to their benefit and their benefit only. Yeah. Yeah. Let's embrace a new frequency, shall we? Today's intention was in realizing the responsibility we have as human beings to one another, right? That every single one of us was given this power to influence one another. That I can, in this moment, go, you are beautiful. It doesn't have anything to do with your body, doesn't have anything to do with your mind, even. You, the thing that you are, is beautiful. You can literally melt away all of the layers, all of the hopes and dreams, even, all of the interpretations of what makes you beautiful or not. And there's nothing but the consciousness that you are. That version of you that's paying attention to this moment right now is beautiful. Boom. Get loving worded. Yeah. Yeah, get loved. I'm gonna, with that in mind, smoke up. To be in the state of love. To show up for a state of being that makes you feel loving. To be in a state of love. To realize there is nothing more to be had from this reality. That the thing that is always in your mind, the thing for which you seek, is inside of you the whole time. You always have the power, dear friend. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Okay? How's the storm? You did mention there's a storm coming. We had a little rain, not 10 inches though. Bless. I'm happy you got some rain at least. Is it still dry in California? As we live locally, in our physical form, we can act globally with our spiritual intent. I feel Joe Schmo is taking us to the next level. Because yes, I do believe that as well. Right? What does that mean? It means, to me at least, that even though you have this ability to influence things physically, right? That I am now using two membranes that vibrate against one another. And I have a tongue that's like doing freaking gymnastics in my face to make these certain sounds that I'm speaking. And I can influence you in doing so. The physical. There is also this spiritual side of yourself, the part of yourself that is the experiential, right? Another way to think of it is the part of you that is the projector, right? The part of you that outputs a certain image into this world by seeing it. Does that make sense? No? As you see the world, so you are, right? And as the world is seen by you, so it becomes. In other words, if you think of the world as a horrible place, that is filled with evil people that just want to hurt you always. And you believe that day after day after day, your life will end up being a life where even if you were wrong, will be a life of experiencing an evil world where people want to hurt you, right? And you will be contracted away from people and you will be locking yourself in your room and you'll feel a sense of safety away from all of those evil people out there, right? And because you don't get to experience it, because you don't use your power, you will believe you were doing something good, even though you will experience the worst possible life that you can live. And the other side of it is true as well. If you look to this world and you see beauty, you see the divine feminine incarnate, you see change as something to embrace, something to celebrate, then that will be your existence. You will get to live a life where change isn't something scary, but something celebrated, something appreciated. And it's difficult to accept that level of responsibility, right? It's hard for us to realize that we are that powerful. Because even though it might only be, at the very least, your world experience, that world experience, that lens through which you look, can influence the things you say, and those things that you say will influence other people, right? So it's this yes and kind of fractal of like, yeah, your physical form has the ability to influence this world, right? By the things you say, by the things you do, etc., etc. But your spiritual experience, the connection, the depth with which you feel you are a part of this existence, that is also going to influence the things you say and the things you do. And in that way, the spiritual connection, the spiritual understanding might even be more important, right? And for me, spirituality, maybe like I should say that as well. For me, spirituality is the pursuit of what God is, right? Again, the ideal state of being. And in my mind, I believe that is love. That is the pursuit. That is the active pursuit. That is what I'm showing up for. That is where I'm heading, to being in a state of unionized love, where there is no need, there is only love projected outwards infinitely. Right? That's the thing I think I am. And this is but a lens through which I can experience it. As I started believing that, my life has radically changed. As I started believing that, I showed up for you, friends. As I started believing that, you, friends, showed up for me. All right. I became a yoga teacher because you, friends, saw that part of me too. I became an artist, right? And I would like if to consider myself an artist by the time I started, but I don't think I actually was one. You, friends, allowed me to be myself in a way where it allowed me to be myself in a way that allows me to be myself in a way, right? Again, the power that you, friends, have over my life as well, and me wanting to honor that power that you've given me by giving it back to you, encouraging you, supporting you, friends, as well. Thank you, is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say thank you for being such spiritual beings, for changing this world alongside me. None of us can do it alone, but hot diggity damn, will we be able to do it together? Faster than ever. All messages, I think I've already switched to it. No, I have not. Thank you for the reminder, beloved. My comments aren't working now. Brr. Okay, thank you. Back. Changes chat to all messages. Love to you again. We are spirits in a material world. Yes, we are. Yes, it's very dry here right now, but some real rain is in the forecast. Bless. So good to be here. So good to have you. Who needs tears? Sending you blessings, dear friend. It's nice having your name here in chat with us. No, 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 no. Head to work. Have a good one. Go and be the expression of love in your workplace. Right? It feels like a tall ask, but every single one of us are capable of it. None of us have to live these grandiose, superstar lifestyles that Hollywood has sold us in order to make a difference, in order to have power in this world. Can you speak words? Yeah, then you have more power than literally well, let's say literally 99.99% of the creatures on this planet, right? That's some power. That's some power you have. You don't need to get more. You just need to learn how to use what you've got. Try and use it for the good, and more will come. Joy, did you hear the fireworks last night in the city? I was like, what the heck? Because why would fireworks be going off in this cloudy, rainy weather? I was like, is someone shooting a cannon? I'm imagining it might look cool. Maybe the clouds could like be like a backdrop, like a white backdrop. Maybe they get like illuminated as well. I can still see it working. I don't know if you saw them. Maybe you only heard them. Lisa, namaste, blessed to you. This perhaps are y'all in the locality? I've heard about that. Like the city getting cleaned up for foreign Democrats, politicians showing up. Sam nearby across the bay, although we would be lighting fireworks for Pooh Bear. If anyone, I guess. Oh, absolutely. Winnie the Pooh, it literally was a girl. Winnie the Pooh was a girl. Mind blown. In the books, like I have Winnie the Pooh's voice in my brain right now. Thank you very much. Maybe a girl can sound that way. Maybe. But Pooh has this way of speaking, right? Maybe. Hey, who am I to gender? Who am I to gender Pooh? Pooh was never gendered in my mind, really. He was just Pooh Bear, right? Is Piglet female? I don't know either. Bruh, I don't want to gender Winnie the Pooh in my mind. I feel like that is beyond the point. Like I feel like I'm reducing it to something that it's not supposed to be reduced to. Taking responsibility over your word reminds me of the 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your words. Oh, that's the first one. Be impeccable with your word. Always uh, try your best. Don't take things personally. Honor your promise. Hey, Google, can you give me the 4 agreements summarized? Knows those. Again, be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. That's the one I missed. And then always do your best. Don't make assumptions. That's a good one. That is a good one. That one was hard, I feel. I like making assumptions. You too? Yeah. Makes us feel clever. Makes us feel like we have an edge when we make assumptions. But when you assume, I'm going to say it, you make an ass out of you and me. Love you. Thank you for assuming the best. You can do that too, right? So use your power wisely. Mm, to avoid words that speak against yourself or to gossip of others, using the power of your word to offer love. Never use it to cause fear or pain in another or yourself. I'm so happy that you're bringing that up in our minds, Jovan, because like this power that we've been talking about the whole day is very much applicable to you too, right? This ability to say things, that you can say things into the world, either to yourself, which is one way that it ends up happening, for the inner narrative, but also to others, right? Where maybe you're dancing or doing yoga, and then you come up to me and be like, hey, person, dance with me or yoga with me. And I go, oh no, I cannot do that, right? Now I have established a fractal in my mind that I cannot do that. And I've established a fractal in your mind that I believe I cannot do that, right? Double locking ourselves down, limiting the experiences we're allowed to have by using our power for the worst possible experience. Why do we do that to ourselves? Hello to all that joined the stream. Bless indeed. Thank you, Nancy, for welcoming our friends. Yes, because of his raving insecurities, joy, it must be because there's something to the comparison. Yeah, 100%. I love the four agreements. Thank you for the reminder. Me too. We need to be actively reminded. Be impeccable with your word. Don't make assumptions. Do your best. And don't take it personally. That one is also hard, huh? Hot damn. How dare you? Ego says. How dare you? So the book Winnie the Pooh I just looked up is a he, but he is based on real life she bear, also named Winnie. Ah, the Winnieception. The more you know. If she was a girl, why was she pantless? Yeah. Again, it wasn't a gender thing for me, right? I didn't think like this bear ain't wearing no pants. Where them genitalias at? No, I was just like, this creature loves honey so much. Oh, it loves honey. No, 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 no. Wrap my mind. The humans. Mine has missed, melt, and more. Love to you. You're doing better than you know, Johan. Thank you. I love useless facts. Nice. Pooh Bear gets referred to as he in the books all the time, bro. I mean, I didn't know. I was like, I was just there for it. I always resonated with Eeyore. Tigger got on my nerves, and I needed to go get his ass down, get his ass down somewhere. Yeah. Which character do you think I resonated with? uh, yeah, I'm 100% a Tigger. That is definitely my fractal. I love that character so freaking much. That grumpy rabbit made me think about like boomers as a kid. And I feel like that was like where my mind, really resonated with Tigger as well, is because of like that contrast between the two. In my training, a new girl at work and pay off our job. I'm training a new girl at work, and pay off our job is to help folks calling the community development department. We have a civility policy that can end calls if callers are being rude or nasty. She asked me about that and how I handle it all. I said that I approach those people with gratitude for helping me develop thicker skin and my karma, that their attitude is about them, not about me. But my response to them is about me and the only thing I can control. She very much liked my approach to things and thanked me for sharing. We can always bring our higher selves everywhere we go. All very much a version of not taking things personally and not assuming. So beautifully shared. Thank you. Who needs tears? It's hard. I'm so like proud of you for being that wise person in the world, being able to communicate that fractal. Some people never hear stuff like that. Makes me so happy to hear that. That fractal tears, right? Thank you, Joy, for echoing her lovings as well. It's just a funny story that I picked up along the way. I grew up with Pooh Bear and never really thought about it. Same. That's a great anecdote. Tears. It can be difficult to see things that way in the moment. Yeah, 100%. When tempests rage and emotions, crash. Thanks, Dan. I've never ended a call. Instead, I resolve things to the best of my ability. Other folks are quick to end calls. I can imagine. I think there's a certain level of like ego satisfaction in just ending the call as well. Being like, fuck you, person. Oh, you want to be rude? Fuck you. Get wrecked though. Get hang up on. So I'm double proud of you. Who needs tears? That's beautiful. Tears gives me some relief that there are people out there like you doing the good work. Yes, I'm so happy that you felt that. That like, oh, thank goodness, right? Because there's only so many of us in this space, at the very least, right? Like, there's only so many of us that can go back out into the world and make a difference. This is how I've been trying to make a difference, but this is. I would like to egoically believe that this is going to be enough, just me showing up every day and suddenly the world is a better place. But I know That's not how it works. I do, however, believe that as you friends show up in my life and I, show up for you friends and we encourage one another's growth and we have that upliftment using our power of our words to help one another, to love one another, to see one another thrive instead of trying to break one another down, that is how we end up changing the world. And to read little anecdotes like that shows me that who needs tears? It's already happening. It's moments like those where we use our power for the good. Tears, that's an excellent way to spin the narrative, to become a helpful moment rather than one that hinders our preconceptions. Good job, good job. So much lovin's. I love you guys, really, truly. I try my best. That is all we can ask. That really is all we can ask, right? One of the 4 agreements. Do your best. Sometimes your best will be 100, sometimes your best will be 1. And that's okay as well. Take it one day at a time. Y'all are a part of the reinforcing how I approach the world. This is the way. Who needs tears? This is literally the power we are allowed with this medium, Like there's a certain level of accountability of the internet and this way of showing up for one another. Second intention for smoking, to really embrace this fractal, to think about the fact that there are people in the world right now, potentially, making other people's lives better. That gives me hope. And for that, I smoke. Technically, for that, I vaporize. There we go. That second one actually got enough heat. Love is infinite, and love is divine, and is shared right here and now. All over the world, technically as well. Think about it, Joshmo, right? That it's infinite, which means it's everywhere at the same time. And there's these nodes of humanity, of people, of you, that's using that power to offer like an anchoring point for that love that is universal to flow through your physical form. Honor yourself for being a conduit to love. Mel, I was trying to remember what day we actually shared first names. Was it day 100? I can't remember. The name reveal, me telling you my human name is Estian, happened on day 100. I do remember that, Lisa. How blessed are we to witness this divinity? So blessed. We are absolutely blessed, Brother Bear. My ego wants to be like, sure, you're blessed and whatever, but also you deserve it. Yeah, you deserve feeling this loved. Right? Like usually that you deserve, has come with like a negative fractal. Our words of power is used that way, but you deserve to feel loved as well. You deserve to see little doggers laying on their backs and playing, being absolutely stoked. You deserve that too. Okay. I just saw a meme that said every day someone takes the world's biggest poop for that day and doesn't know it. I guess that's true. Somebody. I feel like some people probably are like, record holders. They're probably the person that takes the biggest poop like of that day, multiple days, right? Like I feel like if you got like one world's biggest poop, like you're probably more likely to get it again, right? So I feel like there's a whole subset of humanity that will never be world's biggest poop holders for that day. Why? Why do you have to freaking use my third eye like this, bro? Come on. Oh, come on, dude. Please have mercy. Was it you? No. No, my poops are pretty tame. Why would you do this? Oh, what the fuck? I'm not even I feel like beyond naked. I feel like usually naked is like no clothes on, right? Like I feel like you're looking at my insides right now. Like you can see lungs and heart and digestive tract. Like that's how exposed I feel right now. I see a Gab and go, hey Gab, what's up? Oh, what's up? I love you so much. Had to use my powers of wording to send you some of that good, bro. Thank you for using your powers for good as well. But your human name also isn't Estian. Technically, no. Technically, right? It's not. But that's the name that my parents called me. That's the name that all of my friends know me as. That's the name my family calls if they want to get my attention. Is Estian. So yeah, it's the my noom was just turned into worlds using my. No, please. Shell, Shell, tell us fun facts. Tell us any fun fact, any fun fact whatsoever. Shell tells me fun facts about toilets. No, please, Shell. Anything, anything but that, please. I'll do anything. Before Gob shows up, yeah, Gob. Mercy. Oh, hey, Luke is here too. Luke, bro. We had a good stream today, man. We went into the platitudes of depth, of responsibility, of power. We have to use our voices both into the outer world and how that influences things, but also in our inner world, right? That the things we say to ourselves, have an effect. What if someone in chat is the world's? Yeah, I doubt it. I still do doubt it, dude. I feel like there's like probably like a handful. There's like 100,000 like record holders, and then those people are like in rotation, doing like the biggest a day. I feel like the odds are against us in this one. I got an ad for the stream. Does that mean Melt gets monies? Yes. Yes, in fact. There's a button I can press that enables monetization. And I pressed that button today as a research attempt. I'm gonna see if there's any change in what's the word I'm looking for? They call it impressions. That's the word, right? Where they basically serve my videos to people. I wonder if there's gonna be a difference if the videos actually get to make money for YouTube, because I purposefully leave them off, right? Like I have hundreds upon hundreds of videos that just do not have the little monetization on button press. And I do that partially for you, friends. Like it does hurt me, partially. Hurts me like the 5 seconds it took you to skip the ad to think about the fact that you had to go through that. And we're slowly but surely we'll learn these lessons. Thank you, Gab, for joining, bro. That's what I'm happy about. Oh no, scope, no. World ain't free, yo. Love to you, Joy Beef. It was partially Joy Beef inspired. You know what? Not inspired. It's Joy Beef's fault, actually. Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna absolve myself of all blame. All Joy Beef's. No, it was me. I took the information from my reality, the influence people have to use their words and have power in this reality, and I, you know, showed up, seeing if things are gonna change. I am merely a witness, a beggar at the door of divinity. I wait and I watch and I remember the beautiful moments because they carry closer to the understanding and the will of the infinite. I am grateful, as we all are for you, Brother Joshua. I was supposed to be a girl and my mom named me Tina Marie. Tina Marie. Sounds like a superhero name, bro. If you turned out as a woman, you would have been a superhero. Sucks to be a man. Too bad, though. Tina Marie. We go from. Yeah, we are all nutters. I take absolutely no responsibility for the nutting happening right now. I'm trying to be like super serious mode, seriousing, talking about the importance of using your power wisely. New friends are trolling on me, which is appropriate because that's usually how it works. That's how I learn the lessons, right? That's how I like gain extra platitudes in my mind. Oh, no, 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 skip, no, 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 skip, no, no, no. Yeah, well wishes of healthy poops and no hemorrhoids to all of you, dear friends. I love you. Thank you for using your power, bro, to bless all of us. That's a good blessing. I appreciate that. That's good. That's a good one. Always grateful to witness the magic of this world. You are the magic of this world, Joe Schmo. Remember that, bro. I would have been so promiscuous with that name in the 80s and 90s. Tina Marie. Tina. Promiscuous. Hey, Google. Define promiscuous. Having or characterized by many transient sexual relationships. That is what I thought promiscuous means. Second meaning, demonstrating or implying an unselective approach, indiscriminate or casual. Guess some things are easier. Tiamar? I could be. I'm so lost right now. No. Wait. You have enough daily views to enable ads. Oh, I've had that for like more than a year now. I needed 5,000 watch hours. It's something like 6 months, and more than 1,000 subscribers to enable monetization. Like the reason I can get donations is because monetization is enabled as well. So yeah, YouTube I'm partnered. Technically, takes a step into the ego. I'm a YouTube partner. Doesn't really mean that much, technically. You friends are the ones who, generate most of the income that I've received from Google by donating. So thank you. Thank you. I'm more your partner than I'm YouTube's. YouTube is like not a good partner sometimes, right? Imagine having a partner that like takes a 30% cut and pretends you don't exist. That's what it's like being in partnership with YouTube. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna pretend you don't exist, but every single time you earn a single dollar, I'm gonna be like, give me my 30 cents. Oh, actually, what happens is I get the money first, and I'm like, oh, I see you got $1. How about here you go. Here's like, thank you. Oh, I guess, I guess you don't wanna. Oh, fine. I'm not complaining. I'm not saltying. I'm just aware. I'm paying attention. I'm like, oh, how about this use of power, misuse of power potentially? Okay, love is true. Wait, you have enough. Love again. I have $0.9 in my account. I'd send you my monies if I had some, Brother Bear. Your presence is more valuable than anything, Brother Bear. Don't you worry about that. Wait a minute. Wasn't that an actress named Tina Marie? Maybe that was the fractal. I had a dream that Melt went to the state of Wisconsin to date a girl. Johan and Christian accompanied him. Nice. We become a quadruple. Wisconsin. Hey Google, where is Wisconsin? Can't reach. Hey Google, show me Wisconsin on the American map. Can't reach. I am calm. I have absolutely no idea where Wisconsin is. And I don't know if any of you friends live in Wisconsin either. Joe, you're a real one. All right, management. He's a singer. Duck Dad, would you be pissed if I just called you? I was like thinking about that as well, to be completely honest, Joe Schmo. As soon as I heard the whole Tina Marie thing, I wanted to start calling him Tina as well. Did you go to the state fair in the date? Timar, Joe. Would have been Tina. Howdy, partner. Well, partner, impressive. So impressing. Right? My parents love me so much more now that I'm a YouTube partner, that I can directly link merchandise stores to my YouTube account, that I can have members. They don't care. They didn't even know. They don't even know at all. So the fact that your friends are proud of me is like, yeah, good. I'm getting something there. I'm feeling something, but it's making me uncomfortable. It's like, am I supposed to feel this way? Is this appropriate? I'm just again, it's gratitude, I guess. Like, it wouldn't be. I wouldn't have any of it if not for you, friends. Quite literally. God, it was last week, but I had a dream about Melty and the boys over here in the Midwest as well. That's pretty cool. More synchronies. Thank you for dreaming about me. I take that as a massive compliment. They grow them hearty up in Wisconsin. She will snoo snoo melt. No death by snoo snoo. I can. I would never imagine melt a cheese head. A cheese head? Does Wisconsin have a lot of cheese? I actually do like cheese, to be completely honest. Wisconsin needs to buck up and take that little bit of land that Michigan is hand hoarding on the west side of Lake Superior. Are we civil warring? America, coming to save that little piece of land, yeah, America, fuck yeah. We want a piece of property that is next to the lake, yeah, America. Yeah. Wisconsin is the Midwest, Middle America. It's where I got my bedazzled deer horns from. Ah, of course. Wisconsin, come and get your bedazzled deer horns. That's how I'll remember it forever now. Thank you. You have used your power to put it in my mind exactly like that. Yes, Wisconsin is the cheese state. I do not mind cheese. Uh, I'm I'm definitely not a fan of American cheese though. Am I am I touching on a fractal that I'm not supposed to touch on? Yeah, should be at the very least a real cheese. I'm hearing keyboard clickety clack right now. Oh, so much aggression. I exposed myself to that fractal about like learning about the American cheese fractal. You know, like the whole subsidies to milk farmers and then the eventual excess of milk products because the the government would buy every liter of milk for a certain set price every liter. So there was like so much powdered cheese, powdered milk, and then they started making cheese out of it. So there's at least something to do with it. So wild. So wild. Giving it out for free basically is like a food program because of the amount of cheese that you friends have in America. Does Wisconsin have like nice cheeses? Like gourmet stuff? Gourmet cheese. There it is. Yeah. American cheese is actually just plastic. You said it, not me. Does Wisconsin have a lot of cheese? A question I never thought I'd hear. Let me tell you about the cheese caves. Oh, those cheese caves. I've seen those cheese caves. I didn't know they were in Wisconsin. Literally produce so much extra cheese up deer. We store the extra cheese in caves. I'm happy that we were like interfacing the same fractal at the same time, Sam. Thank you. Wisconsin is beautiful, such thick and fertile lands, but they've got mad ticks. Those ones that give you. Yeah, you said it. What is that word? I don't have it in my mind. We don't actually get that disease here in South Africa. Lyme disease, thank you. Yes, no Lyme disease here. Our ticks don't have it, but I'm guessing that if you have that many, probably. Actually, now I think about it, Dan, I've read people say they also tax on something that has already been taxed. Maybe it was Social Security. I mean, for me here in South Africa, I get taxed by the actual companies, right? So this is like how my tax chain works. I get taxed by the actual company, Patreon or YouTube, for earning any money. They take a cut, you know? The same thing with like my studio. Right now, like they take for the first 10 students I have, they take a 70% cut, which I'm okay with because it's an exposure thing, right? Like all of the clients I got, all of the paying clients at least, I got from the studio. So I wouldn't have had that income at all if not for the studio. So I'm okay with paying that extra premium. Then YouTube takes 30%, and I think Patreon takes 14% right now. I think that's right. It like goes higher the more features you activate in your Patreon. Then, now new rule, they're gonna start taking 14% flat for any of the money that comes into my PayPal account, just like 14% instantaneously, because of our VAT rules. No, 15% actually, 15%. And then I'm gonna pay a fee to actually transfer it to my bank account, which is like I think something like 5%, and then I'll get to spend some of the money potentially, and that's before paying any taxes on it. And then every single time I purchase anything, there will be a 15% tax on it again. So like down the chain, I get to keep like maybe 30%. That's before paying taxes even. Feels a little bit fucky, to be completely honest. It's like, oh, how about this? I'm getting asked every step of the way. So much getting asked. Please, mercy, please. How about, if you let me keep some of the money, I'll get to, live in my own place. Maybe raise a family one day, if I'm lucky. Are we civil war? They may make the best cheddar. Okay, it's actually just plastic or cheese caves. I had no idea. Hey Google, show me the cheese caves of Wisconsin. Let me show you this. Like you have to see it to understand how trippy it looks, bruh. I just want images. There we go. No, these are not the ones I saw that absolutely melted my brain. Like these are big, but not as big as the ones I've seen. Like I've seen cheese caves that will like straight up decimate what you think is possible. Yeah. This is one of them. Still not as big as I need it to be because there are bigger ones even. But there's one cheese cave. And I want like the photo of the American cheese. Because they're not like cheese wheels, they're like stored. There it is. There it is. They're stored in these containers. Look at this. This will break you. Look at that. This is one of the cheese caves. So this is like the dehydrated cheese product. That's bonkers, right? That doesn't even compute in my brain. So much cheese. I want more of those environment photos. I feel like the scale of these buildings, is like on another level. But this is like the Kraft Cheese's underground cheese cave. Maybe I should type in that. Kraft cheese caves. There's like an informational bit that goes 400,000 square feet buried deep within the earth lies a cheese cave of industrial proportions. A 2 million square foot refrigerated warehouse called Springfield Underground. 200 million square foot. I don't know what foot means, but I know 2 million, excuse me. 2 million square anything is a lot of volume. And it's underground, so it does stay a little bit colder. I didn't actually think about the whole refrigeration thing for some reason. It doesn't even say cheese on the package. It says pasteurized processed cheese food. So crazy that our government will nationally control the milk prices, but not prescription drug prices, Lamau. Yeah, uh-oh. How about that whole, gut milk fractal was a means of manipulating people? The fractal of like kids need to drink milk in order to be healthy and have strong bones. All of that was like just manipulation. None of it was true. I feel like that part is weirder to me, right? Like, yeah, How about not having healthcare? But also, how about this thing that actively makes us sick, that apparently is good for us? But the only reason they're telling it it's good for us is because there's so much of it that even if every single person consumed an extra gallon of milk today and every day for the rest of the year, there'd probably still be excess. So they want people to start drinking gallons of milk because it's good for business. But it's definitely not good for people. American style cheese is melted down mishmash of excess cheese. We're the only country that does that because we're the only country with such a cheese excess. Don't believe me, Google it. This is true information Sam is sharing. I have watched a YouTube video about it. Cheese caves in the Swiss Alps have been a thing for something like 1,000 years. Oh yeah, it's not a new thing. It's just the amount of volume, the excess that's being stored, right? Like it's one thing to like age your cheeses in caves. It's a whole other thing that you have so much cheese that you have to keep it in like caves. Like caves is your storage measure. Made that up. I have no idea. 1,000 years, yeah. Like maybe I wouldn't be surprised, but like it is a tried and tested method, keeping cheeses fresh. It would be better to Venmo as a gift. I believe that's free. Yeah. Joke's on me. South Africa doesn't have Venmo. Do Venmoing rather than subscribing. No, 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 no. I feel like, again, you friends supporting me on these platforms is like a health indicator. That's the way I see it, at the very least. That's why I am like mildly being like, but I am still hopeful that if the algorithms realize that, oh, look at this platform, this Patreon, this YouTube channel, it is healthy. It has this amount of viewers, and of this amount of viewers, this percentage of people are willing to support the content that it is they're willing to show up for. That is good health. Maybe we should give more attention. Maybe we should, try a new set of people to expose this information to. So you friends are helping. Seriously. I'm not complaining. I'm just venting, I guess. About like for me it's the whole new rule. The fact that they're putting an extra 15% tax layer on me just because they can. They're like, yeah, now from next year, you're gonna pay 15% extra tax. I'm like, oh, cool. And it's not like I have a choice. They're just gonna take it, right? Like before they even pay me, they're just taking it. So I'm like, oh, nice. That seems very fair and balanced. That's the thing. And I'm okay with the whole platforming thing because, like, my YouTube streams are being documented and stored on hard drives, technically in the cloud, and that shit costs money, yo. I get it, right? So I'm grateful. Thank you, and hopefully, I do believe this information will become more valuable, like an asset that I get to keep, thanks to, the servers technically. No. Skippity bop. It does feel, yeah. Thank you for resonating with me, Kristen. Just thought it went away. Nah, still there. I can't send money, but I can send food and seeds and random juju if that helps. Technically, we're not allowed to do that. I was thinking about the seeds. I was like, I wouldn't mind adding some seeds, but I think it's also illegal. They might scan our packages to see if there's any seeds in them. Some bullshit. The cheese caves I spoke of are in limestone caves along the I-70 in my hometown of KC. More cheese caves. The USDA uses the space to store legumes and other shit too. I wonder how much room there is under there. My friend visited the Tillamook factory tour and said he vomited immediately. That doesn't sound good. I have a shelf of random juju. I just collect shiny stuff. Most people that has known me for a while equates me to a raccoon. I kind of like that actually, dude. That's sent, huh? A foot is slightly larger than 1/3 of a meter, Mel. Thank you. Maybe I can do it like this. It's probably gonna be better for me. Volume. These are cubics, bruh. Cubic feet. There we go. Then I can go 2 million, and that is equivalent to 56,000 cubic meters, which is still a lot. And it would be 56 million liters, right? That's like a better measure of volume for me. 56 million liters. This is 500 mil of water if it's full, right? So double this. Double this in volume 56 million times. Surely you won't be able to pack it perfectly, but that's a lot of cheese. That's an excessive amount of cheese. The pediatrician always slammed milk down a new mother's brain, so many per day, and all the hormones we gave our kids in the 2000s. It's absurd. It really is. I gotta go. I broke a thing. I hope it gets fixed. I'm sorry to hear that. Love to you. We'll see you soon. Melty, your squirrel is here again. She really likes listening to you. Hello, little squirrel. Thank you for coming closer. Suddenly I wanted to be scary. Oh, be scared, little squirrel. Don't get too close. Not all humans can be trusted. I think that's where my mind's going. Love is true. I'm sure you'll be able to trust, Doug, Brother Choshmo at the very least. Black light got me off milk years ago. Black light? I don't know if that's like a name for a person who was giving information, or like the actual black light and seeing it under black light. I don't know. Bro, I still have been sober since October, and these dreams. I want a nightstand vape pen for going night night with, but I will refrain and endure. Yeah, the dreams haven't stopped for me either. Even though I am not sober Octobering anymore, the dreams were like, yeah, we're staying. We like it here. And it's almost like I'm bracing myself as well. Like I have a hard time going to sleep sometimes because I know there's some work, there's some responsibilities, there's some power awaiting me just past my sleep. Gab, are you struggling with the intensity of the dreams or the frequency? Intensity, descriptiveness, emotions, duration. I ought to meditate and visualize better dreamscapes, but I don't have much time. Love you, bro. Yeah. Maybe just, if anything, slowly but surely practicing at starting from a good place. That's the way I try to like steer it, because I usually am too far gone. I'm too in it to realize I'm in it by the time I'm like in my last few dreams, the dreams before I wake up. So by trying to step into a good space as I'm going to sleep, right? For me, it's like I try to reaffirm my own safety and security and gratitude and comfort. It's like it's like a dopamine spin up, being like, yeah, and then I go to sleep like that, and that helps. It's like that's the worst advice I've ever heard, Melt. How am I gonna myself to sleep? Then that doesn't make any sense. Are you struggling, love again? I mean, the whole reason that Catholics eat fish on Friday during Lent was the Pope way back when was getting kickbacks from the struggling fishing industry. Oh, that's hilarious, bro. The amount of money. It's all smoke and mirrors. Absolutely. Refriend in India for what? You got extra brownie points in life of suffering? It depends on how you see it. It depends on what you think the power is, because you can technically practice your power by suffering. So you are getting some points. You're like leveling up something in yourself. Do some reading on lucid dreaming while you're on the shizzer or something. There are a lot of techniques that can help you with all of that. You don't just have to let it be, yo. Yeah, mind awake, body asleep. Mind awake, body asleep, and then looping that over and over again in your mind. No, I confess though. Oh wait, my 30 days are up. You want to smoke again, Nancy? Is it calling to you? Holy crap, hilarious video game story incoming. As you know, Duckling is obsessed with the last Spider-Man for PS4. We don't have anything to do today, so we're playing in bed. I was fighting a bad guy with big armor, and she was cheering me on. Princess Spicy Claus grabbed my foot and started biting the shit out of it, and I screamed, "Oh, my foot!" without missing a beat. Duckling yells, "Don't worry about your foot, it will heal. Focus on the bad guy." Bro, I'm like imagining that whole environment, the energy, the excitement, like super present and focused, like channel of consciousness happening. And then the cat being like, what the hell's happening here now? Destroying your foot. Like I can already see myself, wanting to so, solve the problem, and your daughter being like, hey, oh, doesn't matter if your foot's getting destroyed right now. There are bigger things to worry about. That bad guy is half HP, bro. You can't stop right now, dude. You have to see this through. You are raising a monster. Love is true. God, I listen to guided affirmations and positive affirmations after I wake up in the wee hours and went back to sleep. But also don't eat close to the time of bed. That one actually does have a big effect. I've noticed that myself as well, Nancy. Eating close to sleep makes my dreams worse. I don't know why. Hey Google, why does eating before sleep make my dreams worse? Let's see if there's information out there. According to Dr. Charles Bay, that's really the surname, B-A-E, Dr. Charles Bay, absolute gangster, a sleep medicine doctor at the Cleveland Clinic. Of course, eating anything too close to bedtime can trigger more dreams because late night snacks increase the body's metabolism and temperature, leading to more brain activity, which prompts more action during sleep. I mean, that's an explanation. I can see that, sure. I was more in the whole frequencies, right? Like you're putting frequencies, energy, literally into your body, into your system, and then you're closing your eyes and literally entering that system. So some foods have more energies, good energies potentially, than others, and then by eating before you sleep, you'll experience some of that energy for yourself a little bit more directly than we do if we're just like going about our day. It was the swirling glow of the milk. Ah, yeah. Milk and cheese under a black UV is kind of terrifying. Lots of bacteria. Oh, yeah. And if not for bacteria, you would not have enough serotonin to get up out of bed kind of vibe as well. Right? So there's like, I'm not too, bacterias. Not too much for me, at least. If milk glows under a black light, I'm pretty sure that means it's magic. Really makes me think what exactly you're putting into your body. Exactly. Isn't all of life terrifying under a black light? There's no such thing as clean. Exactly. Milk definitely glows and is arguably magical. It raises baby mammals and sustains adults with massive amounts of vitamins and goodies. But it's chock full of bacteria. Heebie jeebies when you focus on that aspect of it. You are also chock full of bacteria. Every single person you've ever met and talked to is like a literal universe for bacteria to live, right? And depending on the population of that universe, that system is more efficient or not. So yeah, you can think of everything and anything as gross, or you can think of it as nature. This is the way that it is. This is nature, natural. There's so much beneficial bacteria that we need to live. Like, this is going to be one of those weird things again that maybe you don't want to know. But since we're here, I'm going to talk about it. There is this, I should get the name for it. Hey, Google, what is the substance that the udder produces before milk in the cow? So, lactation, the stages of milk production. Pre-calving, bro, that sounds wrong. So I'm gonna have to like give you like the layman definition, I guess. There is this yellowish, thicker than normal milk substance that comes out of the cow's udders before normal milk starts being fed to that baby cow. And apparently that yellowy substance is pure bacteria as like a congealed almost like house of that bacteria. So as the mom starts feeding colostrum, thank you, Shan. Yeah, colostrum. As the mama cow starts feeding the baby, she gives that baby even more bacteria on top of the bacteria it's already in milk, like double the bacteria, triple, quadruple, 100x the bacteria, because that stuff is good for the baby's microbiome to be able to absorb the nutrients that's going to come from that milk eventually. So it's the same thing for your bacteria. If you didn't have bacteria, you wouldn't be able to absorb the food you eat. Literally, you need that shiznit. It's important. Don't be grossed out by it. I think it's because it's sugars being produced while you're sleeping or something. Mm, that might be it as well, right? Like the stimulating effect thereof. The dopamine is maybe like generated in your brain. There's so much beneficial bacteria that we need to live. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Lots of bacteria too, and it's creepy for sure. Eating close to sleep will make you a fatty. You need to burn the energy before it gets utilized by your system in ways that we don't want to. Yeah, like you can utilize the energy that is in your body at any moment. And if there's excess energy, especially if you're going to go stationary, like sleeping, that energy, that excess energy is going to be stored. Slowly but surely, you will gain weight. I am an example. I did that to myself. I ate late at night and then went to sleep over and over again. And slowly but surely, I keep adding small little micro layers onto myself. Almost indistinguishable from a day to day perspective, but over a long enough time period, you notice. Oh dear, I'm afraid Joe has me now leaning towards using Tina instead of Doc. It's not true. You're always burning calories. Yeah, true. But again, like if you're laying, you're burning significantly less calories. Where if you're just sitting upright or just standing, right? Like there's different states of being. Stop eating. Doesn't burn fat. Eating too much, many calories overall. This is also true, right? Again, it's an energy excess or like there's an excess of energy. So I'm gonna store this energy, and excess energy is more easily stored in as fat opposed to being absorbed into your muscles when you're sleeping. So like that's where the whole fat comes from. Like energy is going to be absorbed, but it can be absorbed into your muscles as well. Uses an energy that's going to be a little bit more bioavailable than just turning it into fat. Colostrum, thank you again. I'm just saying that you store too much extra stuff if you eat a big meal and then sleep on it. The body needs motion to properly digest and distribute the energy when it consumes. True. The cow? Why just the cow? I think it might be like all. What about the goat? I think the goat as well, but I don't think the oat and the almond will have any colostrum. I'm not busting on anyone. I'm just talking about body processes. I know, bro. I appreciate you sharing these fractals, man. Like again, the power of our words, right? Like, even if some people might feel like you're busting on someone, that's again a feeling that they have to kind of like, realize that they're also contributing their power towards. I eat very close to bed now, but I'm intermittent fasting and I get up early for yoga, so I'm losing lots of weight because I'm in a calorie deficit. Absolutely. It's so tough though. I'm imagining it might be a good approach though, and I think that I might end up doing the same actually, Joy, because like in the mornings, it might be easier to abstain from starting to eat something. It's almost like as soon as you start eating something, at least in me, a switch is flipped where I'm like, okay, now I'm in eating mode. And then it's hard for me to stop sometimes. So eating a little bit later in the day, intermittent fasting is something I very strongly believe in. Allows you to kind of like get that window of like, okay, I'm eating things, but keep it close, before you actually end up going to sleep properly. But again, as you mentioned, the calorie deficit is important. Why did I sing your comment in my mind? The cow. Why just the cow? What about the goat? Oh, the almond or the oat? Now I got it too. I'm back. The 20K industrial paper cutter is fixed. And now I need to take a nap. Oh, jeez. When you mentioned you broke something, I was hoping it was like a cup that you had to clean up or something like that. That must have been extra stressful. I can imagine you needing a nap. Instantly got like the life zapped out of you for a few seconds, probably. Gotta run. Love you, Kristen. I do oat milk, man. Tastes better and cooperates better if I body than cow milk. How about that? Oat milk is the bomb. I don't think we have access to that much oat milk. Maybe I just haven't looked properly. Like I have a solid diet during the day, but then I rip some bongs in the evening and I just want to lay in bed and eat 2 cans of Pringles. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yo. It's that end of day, you have like spent all of that time and effort using your willpower. So you're like, might as well eat 2 cans of Pringles kind of vibe. That first can of Pringles was so good. The second can of Pringles is gonna be just as good, surely. Double as good, but no, it just ends up. And you like look at yourself and you're like, what the fuck? Where's my can of Pringles? Can I hit reverse? If I could, look at me. If I could reverse time every single time I ate a delicious meal and eat that meal again, I'd probably still be like a 7-year-old. In comparison, with like the amount of time I've lost. Didn't age because I just stayed. I was like, no, bro, that meal was so fire. That can of Pringles was the bomb. How about I go back for again? Again, the can of Pringles. Oat milk and chai with a shot of espresso. That sounds nice. I did wonder what people were doing with chai, Joe. I mean, I didn't know you could put espresso in it. That's where my mind is getting expanded right now. I thought the tea already had caffeine. But you can add more caffeine by espressoing that thing. Joy V, that's awesome. There is always a way to burn the excess. I'm so happy that you're getting the the good results from your rhythm. So proud of you, sister. Bless. Yup, on the oat milk also. So much lovin's. Sam, I need to try that. I'm not doing almond milk on the cleanse. I'm doing. That sounds numbers. I feel like apparently almonds have like a chemical in them as well that might not be good if you eat excess, right? I don't know if the milk also has that in. Is there a difference between almond and oat? Do you like what you're using now? I mean, the difference is probably the one is made out of almonds and the other is made out of oats. Right? Maybe it is like 100% will probably be a taste difference, but it's probably gonna be a personal preference thing, right? Buy yourself both, see which one you like the most. Oh, no. I enjoy coconut milk. How about that? Another one, pizza Pringles. I haven't even had them. Do you make pizza on Pringle? Or is it like pizza flavored Pringles? I'm doing the almond milk because it's part of the cleanse, which ends singing tomorrow. But I'm going to try oat milk when I go shopping this weekend. Bless. If your store doesn't carry it, oat milk is easy to make too. Just get yourself some oats, water, and a cheesecloth. There we go. Make your own. That sounds even more adventurous. That's the Minecraft Pringle. Not sure, but wasn't bad. What's the Minecraft? This Minecraft Pringles? What does Minecraft taste like, yo? Why is my brain actually trying to answer that question? You don't have to do that. It's fine. You can relax. I had to find my rhythm. And it may not work for others, but it's great for me. And yeah, Mel, I don't know why, but it's super easy for me to abstain from food in the morning. For me too. For me too, Joy. But not so at the night, right? Like not close to like the end of the day when you're like smoking some weed and you're like calming down and you're like in that space of like I'm just trying to not with all of that early morning busyness and like doing things. Like and food gets in the way a little bit of that. So to me, also very easy in the mornings to not. But yeah, I don't know if it's that good. I'll see. Again, it's like a whole calorie thing that we're trying to control for. So maybe there's like some better trade-off, and maybe like eating a little bit later and dealing with the consequences thereof, but getting the benefit of not overeating. I don't know why almond milk is part of the menu. Maybe it's just, something that works. Does it work for you is the question. My eating window is noon to 8 p.m. and I go to bed at 9, no later than 10, because I get up at 5 a.m. Yeah, I thought so actually. Man, Pringles. Scum, 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 scum. Man, pizza Pringles used to be so good. I can't bring myself to get them anymore. So much disappointment. Did it change? Nah, they're pizza flavored. They're top notch melt. Does sound good. If I eat too close to bedtime, I wake up in the middle of the night feeling like I might barf. Yeah, that one happens as well. Mysterious soup or something. Oh, coconut milk. I soak chai seeds and coconut milk for chia pudding. Chai pudding. Chia. Throw some fruit in there, and you've got yourself a nutrient, fiber, and protein-packed snack. That does actually sound nice. I never tried them, but apparently they were Minecraft suspicious stew Pringles. Okay, so suspicious stew at least gives me some context, right? Like maybe it's horse meat flavor. Like I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. But like just Minecraft, like it makes me feel like I'm gonna like explode if I taste what Minecraft tastes like. Or maybe not explode, maybe like I'll open some sort of demon portal, and the demon is gonna be like, bro, you fucked up, or now I'm gonna have to reap your soul or something. I never tried them, but apparently love again. I'm good to know about the homemade oat milk. Now I can get in lattes here. So I got to go to be somewhere. So it's got to. I'm fucking lost right now. I'm sorry. You should be able to find it in the dairy section with everything else, man. All the grocery stores here, even the shitty ones carry oat milk. It is probably expected. Like you can actually see the data as well. There's a clear trend in the American public not buying as much milk anymore and instead opting for more plant-based options. So there is change happening, you know, as we start learning the lessons. You listen to them slowly but surely we'll get there slowly. Let's pull a card, shall we? What a world. It's so pretty. So much complexity. The fact that I can make out anything is truly miraculous. We didn't pull this one much. We didn't pull one much, actually. Sam, I think I can find it. Yeah. Now looking forward to my first taste. Do you have all of the ingredients, Nancy? Or are you going to go and get them? Have fun with it, though. Take an incredible amount of water to grow. Yeah, that is the big thing. You ready for the card? We pulled this upside down, but we got the dodecahedron. Dodecahedron. 12 liters of almond to grow 12 liters of water to grow 1 almond. Even though that might be true, I feel like that information can at least in part be misleading as well. Right? It's the same thing with like the whole beef statistics. Like it takes X amount of water to grow a beef patty kind of vibe stuff. But all of that information doesn't actually account for the water that falls from the sky, right? That they add to that number value the fact that that water that is taken to grow the almond or to raise the beef, it literally falls out of the air, and makes the grass grow. And if it wasn't water, the grass wouldn't grow, that the animals wouldn't be able to eat. So yeah, right, true, but also the grass is growing out there, right? There's like not more water suddenly being used because there's cows, and cows do drink a lot of water to add. But again, that water doesn't just evaporate and disappear, get disintegrated. they pee, putting that water back into the land as well, right? Water isn't lost technically. We just need to get better at making it more available everywhere. And desanitization tech is actually catching up right now. I think it's getting pretty good. Chobani vanilla flavored oat milk has a slightly cotton candy hit in the aftertaste. And I'm not going to the plain shit after having that. That does actually sound pretty nice. Tina, that's shocking. Walnuts are my favorite. I can't keep them in the house though, because I have no control around them. Yeah, I'm the same with those nuts. Like it's like for me it goes pecan nuts, walnuts, cashews. And I feel like it doesn't belong in the same list, but like right next to it, parallel to the amount of like I have for that stuff, is peanuts as well. Like I really do enjoy them little crunchies. This listing is so bizarre. It says it's a QA job located in Bengaluru, with a range of 300,000 to 1.2 million dollars. Apply. I don't know how much of that was missed, but apply. Or apply for the job. Or get big bucks. It's a scam, Dan. Probably a scam. Good fats and oils. There we go. Walnuts are good in moderation. Hey! Bengaluru is a city in India. Thank you for letting us know, Naren. You think people are paying QA automation engineers $300,000 to 1.2 milli? That's all right. A little bit much. I will not be applying. You don't want to go to India, Dan? Could be a cool adventure, bro. I honestly feel, really, if this was real, I think it would be good for Dan to go and work in India for like 2 years or something. QA automation engineering, bro. You would learn so much. Oh, you would gain a perspective that no money, no class, no book could ever be able to give you, dude. Maybe you still will. Maybe there's still some room, dude. Huh? Maybe, bro. I think it would be good for you. Live in India for a bit. Walnut butter? What? I'm doing ghee now. Not sure what the benefits are. Can you buy walnut butter? Or do you have to make it? No, I think you can buy that, technically. I have no interest in going to India, lol. I know. That's why it would be good for you, dude. That's why it would be good for you. Specifically for that reason. It's because you don't want to go, bro. You need to go and survive. $300,000 seems legit. Only is in the IT hub of the country. Okay. That gives some credence to the job listing. Thank you, Naren, for actually giving us that information, bro. We wouldn't have had it without you. It's just like peanut butter, but with walnuts. Nan, there we go. Smash walnuts equals walnut butter. India is totally on my bucket list. Yeah, for me too. For me too, Nancy. I also want to go to India. I don't know if I want to live there, but I would like to immerse myself in the culture for like a month or, 2 weeks at the very least. I would recommend hitting up the Big Buy store for a big ass bag and then running them through a food processor at home. Less expensive. For the walnuts, yeah, the excess walnuts. No such thing in these parts. Y'all underestimate the damage I can do if these nuts are involved. Trees in the yard joy. There we go. I would visit the living in places like America is sketchy. Visit, but living in places like that as an American is sketchy. Ah, yeah, I guess. Feel like, going out into the world in and of itself feels a little bit sketchy. But it is a good practice to get used to. If anyone is in India, you have got to let me know. Absolutely, Naren. We'll make a film together, bro. We'll do something quaint, something short. edgy, a little bit artistic, girl. Sam, make up the sofa. I'm coming over. uh, it's like, yeah, give me a spoon and that almond butter and leave me be. Do not look at me while I demolish a whole pint of it. You're gonna have to fight the squirrels for joy. I've been to many cities in the northern part of India. It was amazing. Joy Viv have actually traveled to India. I was thinking about you as well, Joy Viv. Yeah, India seems beyond. I am blown away by the temples I must see and touch. For me, the mountains and the statues, right? Like you mentioned the temples, but like the statues as well. Like seeing statues at that scale, I feel would be, enlightening in and of itself. Okay, okay. Let's play some kalimba to finish today's stream off. Calm down. We've used our powers well to influence each other's lives for the better. Do this. Just like that, we're done. A stream has been stremmed. I acknowledge the power that I have to use my words, and we showed up for it. You friends were here with me, and I appreciate you for that. I haven't even read the definition of the car just yet, but I feel like that was like a good way for me to shift my state of mind. Oh, Northern India has the best hash. Another thing, I want to go for the temples. I want to go for the statues. I want to go for the mountains. I want to go for the people. And I want to go for the hash. Smoking and chilling together. You know, I'll probably get giga wrecked, but sounds like a fun time. I was literally one of my requirements for going. There we go. I haven't had hash for many years. So much weed there. So much heat here. But I do like hash high. Yeah. I've had hash. I had hash at that previous Psytrance party I went to. It was really nice. I will admit. Couldn't go a month without some green, which was red there. Some red weed. Am I missing something? I'd like to go to the south parts next time, like Goa. The world is large, travel is not cheap, but it's worth it. I want to visit Melt next year. SA looks amazing. And there's a large black expat community. Yeah, there is. We're mostly black people in Africa. Surprise, surprise. Wow, there's so many. So many of us here in South Africa that, I feel like that it has melted away as an issue. It's not something that holds any importance in our day-to-day interactions with one another. Divine thought. Divine thought is the core meaning. I did put it upside down, so I'll read that one first. Divine thought. And it goes as such. Your faith is wavering in the face of conflict and division. Relax into the clarity of knowing that you are indeed evolving, and allow unity to be your vision for the future. Woo! The dodecahedron, with its 12 equal pentagonal faces, is one of the 5 three-dimensional shapes commonly called the Platonic solids. The dodecahedron is associated with the female sides of our nature and the element of ether, or prana. It is a symbol of heaven and divine thought. Choosing this card connects you with the divine thought and asks you to contemplate the truth of universal oneness. Both metaphysics and quantum physics affirm that we are part and parcel of every particle of energy, and we are one with all of creation. Consciously move into your breath. Connect with the prana force that resides there. Feel yourself moving away from the concept of duality and separation into an experience of oneness and unity of all life. Breathe deeply and enjoy a feeling of harmony within your being. Visualize how this divine thought will affect your present life. Celebrate the shifts you are making and realize how they will aid all of humanity in our intentional evolution from polarity to divine oneness. Divine oneness, not a loss of your separateness, but a state of being that is divine oneness, right? Because that's the thing where people get themselves a little bit caught up, right? Like, oh, yeah, I want utopia and all of that, but I don't want to lose any of my ego self, right? Oh, I want unity or whatever, but I want to be me. You will continue to be you, despite the unity, right? Unity isn't a loss of yourself. It is a state of being that you recognize. You realize that yes, you are this thing that is separate in your experience, at least, from this outer world. But without this outer world and the relationship you have with it, you would cease to exist, right? So you are, in that way, not yourself, not alone at the very least. And then there is this understanding that this self that you are, being a part of that oneness, gets to have that experience of being yourself, being this person, while at the same time acknowledging, actively experiencing that as a state of being, that you are everything else as well. Makes it a little bit harder for you to kill another person because you'd be killing yourself. It's a part of the same oneness, right? And that's the state of being that we're trying to reach slowly but surely. Have a wonderful 24 hours. We'll see you again real soon. Nanshi, bless you. Peace, y'all. Heading for a run. Love to you, Dan. Enjoy. It's something that holds the utmost importance in our day to day lives here, Mount. It's one of the things I loved about India was being around all the brown people all the time. I get that. For me, I never just thought about it that way. And I feel like that's probably white privilege in and of itself. So maybe that's the lesson I'm supposed to learn. You know, identifying these differences and then loving one another despite them. You move different when you're not being judged based on your skin. It's not something that can be explained, only felt, and I almost never feel that here. I get you. Thank you, Joy V, for using your words of power to allow me to understand and feel as well. Expand your mind and hug the world. I dropped out and missed half of the stream. I love you all. Thank you for being here, Nacho. We're about to read our Shan message. Are you friends ready to rumble? You now. That's how you get gooeyes. Don't give you, but I'll give you a hug. Love is true. Have the mostest beautifulest day, everyone. I, for seriously, realsers love you all so very, very superously, duperously, intensely, immensely, extremely, and hugely, and humongously, and hulkingly, whoppingly, dearly, beloved, notably, nobly, numinously, Meltmore, and all of you. Oh, so very, very, truly, tirelessly, thoughtfully, totally, tubularly, honorably, heroically, paradisiacally. Hey Google, define paradisiac. Paradise is the word that God. Yeah, I'll take it as paradise. Like you are the paradise inducing. Paradisiacally, pleasurably, enchantingly, enticingly, gloriously, gorgeously, lambently, luminously, magically, magical, purely precious, divine friends that use their power to love. Thank you, dear Shan, for using yours to do the same. Thank you, friends, for loving me, for loving yourself, for loving this world, for loving your pets, for loving the plants, for loving the trees, for loving the birds as they sing. That's what we're here to do. Thank yourself as well. Use your power wisely. You've got a lot of it. Shan, that was one for the books. I agree. I do agree, actually. I feel like I was really getting into the groove, going from like the superously duperously. I was like, yeah, it's good there. Yeah. Notably, nobly, num, numinous, numinous, numinous. Hey Google. Hey Google. Hey, Google. Hey, Google. Numinous. Not luminous. I wasn't saying l. I was saying l. I'm sorry. I'm calm. I'm using the right. I'm using my power to words. I'm wording right. Come on. Numinous. You're freaking luminous. Maybe it's supposed to be luminous. Maybe it's supposed to be luminous, and I'm the one having my mind melted right now. I've been making an extra point to check these words for more than one source. What's that word again? Conclusive? It's already gotten melted. I love you, friends. Thank you so much for joining me again. We have come to our natural end. I love you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Be good. Use your power wisely, and then we'll talk about it once more.